The Paris Summit begins today. The 5-day talks have garnered the attention of some of the world's most powerful and influential leaders. The topics of discussion, the crisis in Paramore, and the Parliament House Accord.
Both Spec Op teams will be ready to leave shortly. I've tripled security around the command center and the helipad. No one is to have access except for you and myself.
Excellent, Commander. Make sure there are no more complications. Understand?
Welcome back to Geist, where our mission has been made clear. We are to save all the world leaders from falling under the sway of literal demons, rather than the figurative demons of the financial powers that they serve. Slight downgrade if we fail in our mission. And for that, we will have to risk our lives to save the day temporarily so that they can get back to doing traditional evil. Yeah, our goal has been kind of undercut by modern reality. Anyway, we last eavesdropped on a gigantic presentation Volks was making before a room full of demons to get them pumped up for the crime against humanity they were about to commit. Which means we've been dumped in this just gigantic room with no real indication of where to go or what to do. They seem to expect you to get lost, so they drop you these ferns to drain of life essence, in case you wander around here for a really long time. But the only thing we need to do, there's no hidden collectibles or anything. All we need to do is find these tiny doors hidden underneath the stairs. Go around the stage, completely ignore everything they designed. They could have just dropped us right down here in this hallway. Would have been just as well.
Remember, if anyone but Volks or I try to get through here, shoot them.
Yes, sir! Man, that guy needs to relax. And can you blame him? Volks is about to launch a big project. Meanwhile, all hell is breaking loose in the sublevels. We're lucky he didn't hit one of us.
Everyone is sympathetic to Volks because, or Rourke rather, because he's under so much stress. You would expect him to be smacking women around and beating up all of his own soldiers, shooting guys in the head for the slightest attempt to curb his madness. They legitimately expect you to feel slightly sympathetic for Rourke's plight in the extreme amount of pressure he's under in performing the evil plan that we're trying to stop. This game has no sense of its own tone. Consistently, that's the one thing that's consistent, is its own inconsistency. But here he is, Rourke himself, studying something, getting ready for the SATs, while also taking a meeting with his secretary. We can do nothing with either of them, but fortunately, Rourke sleeps in his office. And Raimi, a workaholic himself, agrees that that's a pretty nice place to do it. But it does give us some opportunities for evil. So let's just hop in bed and get ready to scare some people.
What? My eyes are playing tricks on me.
Huh?
Rourke is so invested in his studies that he didn't notice anything until his secretary screamed and ran away. And even that, he doesn't care about at all. Right back to studying. Poor guy. Under so much pressure, I legitimately feel bad for him. But we did manage to scare the secretary. Might have been interesting to see Rourke's reaction to a ghost in his room, because Rourke knows there are ghosts running around and trying to screw him up. But instead, he's mildly perturbed by the weird behavior of our new infested host. He's telling her to take the day off. Get the hell out of here. Take a nap, which we cannot do over here. We'll have to go find our own resting quarters. Rourke, so invested in his work, can't even see what's right in front of his face. Old John Raimi playing more pranks on him. We should probably go to the kill on sight door that he told anyone to shoot anyone who gets close to it. So, if we get close to it, nothing happens. We just can't go through because Rourke has the only pass through.
Sir.
Yep.
Sir.
No one but Rourke could possibly get through. So why even put guards here anyway? I do like this though.
Sir.
He calls us ma'am, but every time we speak to him, he says sir, because that's the one line of dialogue that the guards are programmed to say. Every time you say anything to them.
Sir.
They did not make it context sensitive. Would have been a nice little touch.
Ma'am?
There we go. This guy is more polite. And he knows our name. It's Beth. Legitimately worried about us and the fact that we have to be around Rourke, who's a violent madman.
Ma'am?
Doesn't want us to get hit. One nice guy. We're probably going to end up shooting him in the face.
Ma'am?
Rourke freaked out about a dog. Is this what happened to Phantom? What they were hinting at in the last video?
Ma'am?
Uh-oh. If he harmed a hair on that dog's head, I'm going to kill him even more than I'm going to kill him anyway. Because he's Rourke, he's the main villain of this game.
Ma'am?
Okay. Looks like Phantom's alive.
Ma'am?
And probably well. Hanging out with a dog trainer. Which is apparently an enviable position. All the other guards here wish they could pet a nice dog. They also like to stash the host collectibles behind their desks. They are incredibly valuable. They appear to be made of silver and gold, so they probably would be. Yep. Poor old Rourke. But he's also terrifying. Someone did just mention that he's potentially scared of dogs. And that there's a dog trainer waiting for us downstairs. This game has a slight propensity towards over-explaining itself. Obviously, we ought to go this way. The other way happens to be a brick wall. I remember this character. She's the woman with the strong, fake southern accent, who likes to carry a rat on her shoulders. Unfortunately, she's lost her rat. Juliet. So we need to, I guess, find her rat. And probably keep Phantom from getting anywhere near Rourke, because apparently Rourke's gonna shoot him. They've got really specific security passes down here. Even the dog trainer has her own, even though she's just visiting. Hopefully Juliet didn't have to come anywhere near here, because there are a million rat traps absolutely everywhere. And storage shelves. Nothing useful. The levels are kind of consistently bland throughout. Like even Silent Hill levels, which are also incredibly mundane. They find little twists to throw here and there. Keep you engaged as you're wandering about. Oh hey, it's Juliet. Scratching her ear. What brought her over here? Spilled bags of dog food, which has become a rat heaven. So much so that the rats are perfectly content. We cannot inhabit them. What we can do, as our previous host, grab another host collectible. And then let her go again. When she wakes up, she'll be somewhere deep in the bowels of Volkscorp, surrounded by rats. That's a rough spot to be in. But it's not the worst thing Raimi's ever done to a person. Or any other sort of mammal. Because we're gonna shake this rat trap around. Very tempting to a nearby rat, who we must slay. Now, all the other rats are horrified. That was not a nice thing to do, Raimi, but he's not a very morally sound character.
There you are! You had me worried. Don't run off again, okay? Okay?
Once again, over-explaining everything. We had a very clear indication of which rat was Juliet. The dog trainer described the rat as being white with a blue collar. Also, it's the only rat that stuck out at all, so if you're going to take a wild guess, obviously it would have been this one. And yet, when you actually inhabit her, you get a flashback to fully prove that it is the correct rat. Now here we have a strange, unique mechanic here. The rat is reverse traumatized by the rat traps, which is to say, I'm not touching anything right now, but the rat is automatically pulling herself towards the cheese in the rat trap. So, we have to like push ourselves through and then keep pushing harder and harder even when it's out of sight. We are magnetized to all the rat traps due to the instincts of the animal we are possessing. Here we have 3 at once. Can we squeak through? No. But we do get multiple failures. We are slightly hardier than the rat who had his neck snapped earlier. But we didn't get the cheese. That's kind of unfair. Let's just get away from the rat traps. They're far too dangerous. That was a mildly disturbing segment. Being a rat who is compelled to destroy themselves, despite intellectually knowing better. And we have injured Juliet, but not intentionally. Were it avoidable, we would not have done so. It actually was avoidable, but it's really difficult to get past that trio of rat traps. Hole in the wall over here, which we can use to do some more platforming since we can't climb stairs. I bet a real rat could easily climb stairs, but John Raimi has not been a rat for very long, so he's inexpert at it. Now I have to wait for guards to open doors for us. They will do so without even noticing that there's a rat scurrying around right at their feet. Bolt on through. to the visitors area for some reason. There we go.
Juliet, if you keep running off like this, you're gonna get caught in a trap.
That is provably correct. We were indeed caught in a trap. This lady knows animals. Now, she's kind of trapped us herself. We are in a cage. Can't get out. Despite all our rage. So, we'll just ram our face all the way into the corner. Note that we can see our character's nose, which requires that the camera be like halfway through the character model. Which means further, when we vacate this body, turn around and look at it, the head and arms are sticking out of the cage. We have crammed Juliet right through the bars of her own cage. But she is still fine, somehow. Maybe she's part ghost herself. It just looks very silly. Like I noted in the last video, the wheels have kind of fallen off this game. It has gotten sloppier and sloppier here in the closing segments. It's a miracle they got this far, despite the budget that Nintendo probably gave them. There is Phantom. We can actually tell. He's got his trademark harness on. Just hanging out in the kennel, because he scared the hell out of Rourke. We got a dog washing station. That would probably scare Phantom. Dogs do hate being washed. Some of them. Other dogs love it, but maybe Phantom is terrified of it. She's happy because she was reunited with Juliet. And also there's a parrot here. Like a sad, depressed parrot with his wings down instead of folded behind him. Poor guy. Maybe our animal trainer is only good with mammals. Nothing much else to see or do here. Unless you notice the bright glowing thing. That is inhabitable. Once you're inside, it blinds you, so you'll be inclined to explode it, which blinds you further.
Huh?
But in the process, it upsets the bird and mildly perturbs the trainer. Now, we're a parrot named Edgar. If we look in the text log, it'll tell us that the parrot is named Edgar, and we can make him talk.
What's happening?
Raimi's old go-to, making things say die to scare people. We've turned Edgar evil. He's getting his revenge on the trainer who mistreated him.
What is it?
Stop! Get away! Don't come any closer! Get that dog away from me! Now! You hear me? Now!
Come on! Calm down, boy!
Turns out Rourke is horrified of dogs. And dogs are not at all fond of him. Which usually happens when someone has a ghost or an evil spirit inside of them. Maybe Rourke has an evil spirit inside him. Or he's an asshole, and dogs can detect that. Right now, Phantom knows that the dog trainer has an evil spirit inside of her. So he's kind of freaking out. But that's weird that they've made Rourke further sympathetic by giving him such a mundane fear after they've done so much to sort of defang him here in this level, making all the other characters sympathetic towards him for no good reason. Regardless, we know his Achilles heel.
Come on.
That cutscene we just saw really should have been, like, very cathartic. Because we hate Rourke. We've seen him do nothing but horrible things for the entire game. Finally, he's backed into a corner, scared out of his wits, and he's actually supposed to be the victim there. It's not right.
Come on. It's okay.
So, even though Phantom recognizes us as John Raimi, one of his hated foes who has possessed his very soul, he is, you know, we gave him treats, so he enjoys John Raimi now. But he is very, very cautious around us, and rightfully so. So we can pull him to the end of our leash, then hit Z, hit Z, there we go. That will forcibly pull him towards us. Very, very, very slowly. So the slightly faster way to get him to move is to throw treats. He will go chase them. And then he will get scared again. So, this is what we have to do. All the way back to the visitor center. Leave a trail of treats, one at a time. Phantom is a very, very hungry boy. Will only respond to food. This is like character assassination of the best character in the game. They were like, hey, we finally made a character who's actually likable. A dog. So, how do we ruin that character? Make you slowly and tediously leave a trail of Scooby snacks across the entire level to get him to do a very basic task. Like, really, after the second lore, you should just be able to walk him to where you're trying to go. But no. It's treat after treat after treat. Sometimes, if you throw a treat too far away, the,
Ma'am?
Best of luck, because we're going to see Rourke. If you throw a treat too far away, Phantom will not chase it. So you might throw a treat a little closer to get him closer to the second treat. And then he will grab them in the wrong order, because he's programmed to pick them up in the order that they were thrown. So it's possible to really screw yourself up. Right now he's not eating the one at his feet. So if I heal him, he will not find this one. So we're about to... Yeah, there he goes. He went back to the one that was at his feet, then came back around. So not only is this an awful, slow, tedious escort mission,
Ma'am?
it's a poorly programmed one as well.
Ma'am?
He had some sage advice for us to not bring Phantom to Rourke. Or at least be careful while doing so. Then he just said go away. I am surprised Phantom found it all the way down the stairs there. This part he has a really hard time with because he can't see down the stairs. The tree tends to get hidden behind the stairs. But this time, he didn't have a problem. Thankfully. Ugh, he's stuck again. But yeah, like I was saying about the flavor text in this game, Silent Hill 3 did a phenomenal job making the main character's reactions to the mundane objects in the area a huge part of her characterization. And the other Silent Hill games did similar things, or would hide strange, disturbing objects in the mundane things you would find. See right here, he's probably going to go for the new one, and then double back for the old one. Let's see. Nope. He's actually going to go forward. How nice of him. But yeah, since John Raimi is such a non-entity, they don't even try to build character with the stuff that he has to explore in the game. Kind of a shame. Another wasted opportunity. This is a door we've seen before.
Get away! No!
Back to the nuclear command center, where Rourke has been waiting this entire game. Now he's trying to shoot us for bringing a dog to him. And I was briefly stuck. After he eats his snack, he can be released. Then he will disarm Rourke and terrify him into a possessible state. But first I want to see him squirm.
Don't come any closer!
That's satisfying, because I have not been bought into this game's propaganda. Its attempt to rehabilitate Rourke. Sick bastard that he is. Thank you, Phantom. You saved us all, and then ran into a vent, as you are often wont to do. Another satisfied victim of Raimi's mental torment. There's a movie that came out last year, Possessor. Very disturbing psychological horror movie by the latest generation of Cronenberg. And it was about someone who possesses other people's bodies to make them kill people. Very similar to the plot of this video game. And we have a slip portal down to the portal to hell. You would think you'd be able to climb this debris and then do like a sick rail grind up to the teddy bear over there. But there are a bunch of invisible walls that keep you from getting anywhere near the debris around here. So what you actually have to do is go all the way to the outside area where there's more debris, climb that, and you will eventually be able to make your way up here. Nice. So yeah, Possessor. Basically the plot of this game that actually explores the horrifying implications of what it means to possess someone and make them kill people. And ultimately, it's about the psychological breakdown of the person doing the possessing, which is kind of a cop-out. But it's about their journey to forsake all forms of morality. They ultimately have to become the most immoral person alive. So they don't really explore the victims. They do show them in a quivering state of having their life ruined. But mostly it's about how bad it is to be a possessor. And yeah, John Raimi, definitely evil, definitely not explored. But hey, we're Rourke now. We can go through the door that requires his security pass to get through the door.
Sir. Sir.
We were, however, disarmed by Phantom,
Sir.
so we have no gun. We are as weak as we could possibly be. Button wasn't working for a second there, but I got it going. And on to the next part of the stage. Right away, we sneak around here, all the way around here. We'll get our third host collectible. 4 of them in every level of the game except the first one. That is a lot of host collectibles. Originally, when I was looking at this menu, it would show you that there were collectibles all the way up to level 8. Or rather level 7. Then when we got to level 8, which we're on right now, it showed us level 8 has collectibles as well. And when we get to level 9, it will show us that level 9 also has 4 host collectibles and 2 ghost collectibles. They didn't skimp on the little bonus secret stuff in this game. Full credit for that. I do enjoy exploring and finding junk like that.
Sir.
Custom armor. Just waiting for Rourke.
Sir. Sir.
Oh, we're not looking snazzy yet. Or he likes our default costume. He's just that much of a sycophant. We've seen the kind of troops that need this gear. Raimi's a bit forgettable, forgetful, and forgettable. He's a non-entity. But now we have custom armor of our own. Which means we'll be able to move faster than speed of sound. Unrealistically fast enough to track ghosts. And we'll be able to shoot ghosts. It'll be a good old time.
Sir.
Yep, he also thinks we're looking snazzy now. Here's what the boost looks like. Puts a mild filter over the screen. And it only really makes sense when you can see other things, because for us, the perception of time remains the same as it ever is.
Sir.
So, we found Bryson's helicopter.
Sir.
The one he was shot down in. But the report hasn't come in, so we don't know what happened there. Bryson could still be alive. There's status update on the animal trainer. She has lost her mind and ruined her life. She's now terrified of the animals that she's supposed to work with. Great.
Sir.
Ah, and there's the people we poisoned.
Sir.
They're dead. And the chef, he has escaped the building to cower in fear from retaliation of the murders that his body committed.
Sir.
There's another life ruined. And the medical wing is reporting heavy casualties.
Sir.
That is where Anna Richardson turned into John Rambo and started shooting everybody.
Sir.
We are just getting greatest hits of all the lives we've ruined here in this room. Now, like you said, we can't leave the command center. We can't go through that door. We also can't go through the door where we came in. So, what is there to do? We could play with this computer, but it has blue screened. All the computers in the area showing the blue screen of death. The only other option we have is the gun option. we are going to utilize the gun option. Takes 2 of these grenades, but using the slowdown, you can very efficiently wipe out any of these guys. Grenade the last one. I like the grenade with this gun because it doesn't ever have to reload. You just fire grenades non-stop. Whereas the main gun takes a long time to reload and is somewhat difficult to use, which is why I have no HP left. Although, when you use the boost and the grenade, the grenade also moves in slow motion, rendering it effectively useless. So the boost is only useful if you're going to use the rifle. I bet there's going to be more people to kill in here. Oh, he beat me on the draw, somehow got a grenade into me before I got one into him. Fairly impressive. So I will just jump ahead to where we left off. Not gonna make you rewatch that whole fight scene. It's actually quite difficult. I'll try to do better next time. Okay. Did quite a lot better in our 5v1 this time. And I noticed, when I blew up this side of the room, it destroyed all the consoles too. Nice. That is an awesome touch. Hadn't realized that before. Die, science. Oh yeah. Yeah, this thing's crashed in more ways than one at this point. And we have almost full health. We could even tank one of those grenades if we get unlucky. Yep. There's the guy who hit us last time. Immediately fires a grenade the second he sees us. I'm sure he's been wanting to do that for years, because we're in the body of Rourke. And I've been wanting to do that for hours, and that's how long I've known the character of Rourke. Can't imagine how much worse it is if you have to work with a guy. Oh, another grenade flying right over my head. Courtesy of that jerk. He's positioned in such a way that he can do that. Great. So there's most of my health. Usually he doesn't activate until you get like right to this door, so while you're waiting for the door to open, he drops a grenade right on your back. Luckily, health refill right there. And a refill of another sort. A very, very transparent ghost teddy bear. Come on, there it is. We have so many of these things at this point. Couldn't possibly ever die as a ghost. We are immortal. But we rarely get to be a ghost anymore, so it is quite pointless. I'm gonna reload before I go on another rampage. Not planning to use my gun too much, but it's nice to have. In case you want to use the boost, to very safely dispatch 1 or 2 enemies. This power armor is not actually all that powerful. We're certainly not much hardier than we've ever been in any of our other hosts. Still die from pretty much any direct attacks. Still gotta play very defensively, try and single out enemies. In one-on-one combat, we're okay. Once they have numbers on us, we are probably gonna die. So I think that's back where we came from. The health refill is behind this pillar. Might as well take it. All the enemy soldiers are dead. And so are these people. A life support body mover. Taking inert bodies somewhere. Kinda wish John Raimi was more of a character, so he would have reacted to that in some way. Maybe had some conjecture as to what's going on. Nothing. He's a human blank slate. Get out of that doorway quickly. Because we don't want to get blown up while we're cornered back there. Got blown up anyway. Oh, these grenade launcher guys. Okay, 2 people are dead. Going back for this. A fairly low amount of health refilled there. Okay, there's a guy. Shoot him to death. Save the rest of our boost for no good reason, because it regenerates very quickly. And keep on rolling. And there's unfortunately just not much to see in the way of like science junk. Like in Half-Life, there was always random tiny details strewn all about the laboratories. They would all have clever little implications as to what the hell was going on. In this game, it's just random science junk. You can write your own story if you want, but you probably don't want, because you won't be too terribly inspired. Teleported out of the room there somehow. The moment that I activated the boost, so that was some kind of weird glitch. One more guy all the way over there. And he's dead. We're at fairly low health. Can ghost across this gap in the platform here. Or we can use the stairs with our body. We'll be doing that eventually. But look over here. There's a Gatling Gun Turret. Just waiting for us to slip up. Good thing I did some reconnaissance, eh? So we'll get back in our body. And yeah, not much reason for there to be this broken gap in the platform. Just Volkscorp doesn't like to maintain their working environments. All the way behind this truck is the last host collectible. All the collectibles for this level. Unlock the boss multiplayer level. And like I said, probably get to see some of the more interesting multiplayer stuff, because there actually is unique assets and stuff in the multiplayer section of the game. It's surprisingly cool. Over here we can jump right in front of the turret that I warned myself about. Nothing happens. It is just another random thing in the environment. Kind of a waste. Not that it would have been, like, fun to get gunned down after you made so much progress, but probably should have happened anyway. Because they put the thing there. Might have been rewarding if you'd been clever enough to send the ghost head. Could have done more stuff like that. But even when they have the opportunity to do stuff like that, they don't do it. Weird. This game is weirdly both over-designed and under-designed. Extreme excesses of effort in very inefficient places. And then in the places that would have made the game better, they went as bare bones as they could. I don't get it. These things, there's even more of them. At this point, they've moved just hundreds of bodies through these 3 body movers. And they just keep coming. Where are they all going? We will find out in the next level. And it will be weird compared to the sheer number of bodies we've seen moved.
There he is. Possession is confirmed.
So now we have some of those soldiers in their own super suits of armor. And they know Rourke is possessed. They're throwing the same weapons that we have at us. They also take 2 shots to take down. We want to circle strafe a lot, because we do not want to get hit with those grenades. When the enemy gets hit with a grenade, it just deals a lot of damage, because the enemy is not possessed by a ghost. These grenades knock souls out of bodies. So, the fact that we have the wrong soul in our body means we will become dispossessed if we get hit with one of those grenades. It's also why they are only throwing grenades at us. They want to, save Rourke, not kill him. So they're doing this. Throwing us out, and then shooting us a lot. Which is doing some damage. And then we can repossess Rourke and retaliate. And I got knocked out again. So it'll be a few seconds before I can hop back in. He turns green and then turns back, indicating that soon you'll be able to possess him again. So this is a neat little change of gameplay. They're attacking our ghost, trying to reenact the good ending of Symphony of the Night by saving the villain of this game. But we are an even greater villain, so we must resist their attempts. Someone's wiggling around up there. Might as well kill him. The placement of garbage in this area makes it needlessly frustrating to navigate. There's only one correct path, but many, many optional paths that seem correct until you try them. There's a guy. They don't lead their grenade shots at all. So, all you gotta do is not be where you were when they threw it, and you're all set. I had to intentionally stand still to get hit with one of the grenades. When you first do this area, it's quite a bit more difficult, because you don't know where enemy spawns are going to be, and you don't know about the grenade mechanic. And also it leaves a gas behind, which keeps the dispossession effect. Takes a little bit of getting used to. If you didn't get all the ghost collectibles up to this point, you might be in an extreme risk of dying to their rifles. We have gotten all the ghost collectibles, and are therefore virtually indestructible as a ghost. They did about half our health, 2 of them at once, grinding away with barely any resistance from me. And they never occur in groups of greater than 3, I think? Usually 2. Hey, there's our body. Slow clapping us for our apparently unimpressive feat of taking out all the other super soldiers. And he ran away for some reason. Certainly not luring us into a trap. Definitely no reason for me to be looking for a health refill right now. Not finding one on this level. Can't be bothered to go back down to the lower level. So on we go. I guess we're gonna fight our body or something? Let's find out. Looks like the demon who had our soul is just as much of an evil prankster as we are. Immediately dispossessed, headed into a crane, got ready to smash our body. So we better hurry up and take possession of it ourselves, because there's obviously a time limit. Nope. He just can't get the last lock off of that crane. So, we have all the time in the world to check out AC units. Maybe look at this water tower. Oh, would you look at that? This is how they get the water to their underground facility. They store it from a reservoir in the water towers on the roof here. How incredibly interesting. We've got fans here. Good to know that if you touch them, you do take gradual damage. That'll be important later. Anyway, enough fun. Let's save our body from the imminent danger that it absolutely is not in. And we're John Raimi again. Finally.
I have a change for Project Z that will make this world a haven for us. The time of man is ending.
Finally, the demon tried to crush us. Was too late. Now he's gonna be our greatest enemy. Which, again, kinda ruins the whole climactic revenge on Rourke thing. Because it's just the demon, it's not Rourke anymore. What a shame. Also, I guess I didn't need to find a health pack before I came here. Maybe I should have brought Rourke in here with no HP. Then he would have been much easier to kill. It doesn't actually work like that, but it should. That would have been very clever. That would have been like Metal Gear Solid-ass shit. Not in this game, unfortunately. As much as it does like to rip off Metal Gear Solid. Doesn't do quite as good a job. I prefer to just use the grenades to dispatch Rourke relatively easily, although he does teleport away quite efficiently. He's almost always behind you. Very irritating, but not difficult. Normally not difficult. He's being much more of a pain in the ass than I've ever seen him be before. Any other times I've fought him. Oh well. We'll get him eventually. He can only teleport so much. Once you get him pinned down, you can take out at least a quarter of a health bar with 2 or 3 grenades. It's right next to me again. Went right through me there. I'll just take another health pack. We'll be fine. There are like 10 of them in the area. Behind me again. And he's dead, but there's a ghost inside of him. This is the part that I hate. So much so that I'm going to go look for a health refill immediately. So the ghost, the demon ghost, isn't real. He can't hurt us. However, he can do much worse than hurt us. He can hurt not just the player character, but the player themselves. Now that is some meta freaking Metal Gear Solid stuff. Oh, the button pressing there is nearly impossible. It's so hard. Whew, you have to tap it a billion times while the demon is possessing you in order to escape. Otherwise, he will drop you in the fan and make you grind yourself to death. Fortunately, if you go up the stairs, he can't get to you in time to get you into the fan, so you have a little longer to press the buttons and escape his wrath. It's very difficult, and I expected this to take more than one try. Might take many, many tries. Let's find out. Okay, Rourke was much more cooperative this time. The demon's on the loose. You can get a good beat on him using the boost, but grenades are useless when you have the boost on. And let's get a good beat on him. Bullets do not harm the demon. So we are stuck with grenades. Slow grenades against a demon that moves faster than we can possibly see. Now to escape, we do kind of get stuck on the stairs. That's why I like this section. We have a lot of time to get our A button presses in if we stay on the stairs. We can also rain grenades down. And yeah, he will not jump us off the edge of this platform. He insists on walking us down the stairs, but we get stuck on them. He doesn't have clever enough AI to pull us down. Because he moves directly towards the fans, he got me down this time. That's not great. But we can just hop back up, wait for his cooldown. But yeah, he moves in a straight line towards the fans every time. And when you're on the stairs, you can't really go in a straight line, because part of the edge is blocked off. He has to go to the right, and then straight. He's not really clever enough to do that. Got me again. This is a very slow way to do the boss, but also a very safe way to do the boss. Doing it at ground level is not much faster at all, and it's incredibly dangerous. Because if you get got, he will cram your face right into that fan. Doesn't take too many grenades to actually kill him, too. They're very powerful, and his health bar is not that high. So this is a neat little gimmick boss fight, but the button presses are way too hard. It is seriously surviving the torture from Metal Gear Solid 1. And, the punishment is instant death. And, it's very unrewarding. The boss itself is another blank slate, just like Raimi. A non-entity to the point that it literally has no name. It's just the demon. It's way too fast. You can't shoot it, which doesn't even work with the game's continuity. When we fight the soldiers as a ghost, they use their rifles exclusively against us. But when we have to fight ghosts ourselves in that soldier armor, we can't use the gun at all. But worst of all, it deprives us of a boss fight against Rourke, where Rourke would be like taunting us throughout the boss fight, have his opening cutscene where he does something else that's horrible to us, like takes a hostage and shoots her in the head or something evil. Not that we need to see that, Rourke is already bad enough. But it really would have been nice to have a showdown against Rourke, because like it's been built up the whole freaking game. Last time we saw Rourke, he was taking our captured ghost form to be reprogrammed for use in Project Z, and he was taunting us, and then now he's lost his soul. We killed him as a non-entity, just like ourselves. Huge disappointment. But a perfectly fine boss fight, if not for the extreme difficulty of the rapid A presses. Doesn't end there, though. Next time will be the final level of Geist somehow, and there's going to be a whole lot more button mashing, and some more intrigue and fun stuff, so look forward to that. It's pretty cool climax to the game. See you there.